JDnFerg Show. Now, as you all know, last week we had finished off talking about the AFC West. So what we're going to do this week and next week is break down for you all the teams in the AFC East. So let's just go ahead and kick it off and start off with the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. Now, starting with the Dolphins. Last year, their offensive ranks, they were 20th in points with 20.6 per game. They were 23rd in pass yards with 193.2 per game. 22nd in yards altogether with 317.4 averaged. But they were 11th in the run at 124.2 since Reggie Bush finally managed to have a 1,000-yard season, and he does promise big things coming off this next year, so we'll see if that happens. But what I'm concerned with now is they are a Brandon Marshall-less arsenal at their receiving core. Now, Brandon Marshall last year didn't have spectacular numbers, but good enough numbers to compared to what the rest of your receiving core did. He had 81 catches for 1,214 yards and 6 touchdowns. The next best person in line was Devon Best, who had just over 500. And Matt Moore only threw for 24.97 last year.
Oh,
so Marshall almost did half those yards by himself.
That's disgusting.
Now, their defensive ranks, they were 6th in points, allowing 19.6 per game. 15th in total yards with 345.1 average. They were 25th in the pass at 249.5. And 3rd in the rush, surprisingly, at 95.6. So not bad against the rush. Now, with 9 picks in the draft, do you feel they did enough to fix their problems on defense and to have a receiving core? Take your time.
They, as far as I can tell, they just got rid of the receiving core from what you said.
That's what it felt like.
And let me look. Oh, wait, no, they did pick up a wide receiver. Legadoo Nane. That's it. That's
they
all.
picked them up in the free agency.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's move on to the next. Let's go. All right, a few other stats that I wanted to mention. Touchdowns. Let's break down the touchdowns. They had 11 rushing, 20 passing, 0 on the punt and kick return, 2 on the defensive side. Let's get down to the sacks. They got 41 sacks. Now that's some good sackage. Unfortunately, they allowed 52 sacks.
Sorry, Moore.
Damn. And their turnover ratio was at a -6. Not good.
Definitely.
So, let's get on to the draft. Their needs were wide receiver. Definitely. Quarterback. Definitely. Offensive lineman, defensive lineman, linebacker, cornerback. Anybody else want to throw something else in there? Oh, wait, I don't think there is anything else. My God. But anyways, let's just get down to it.
Quarterback.
Right. The only thing they didn't pick up in this year's draft is a cornerback. They did cover all the other aspects. They did get some pretty decent, some overall decent guys. You know, I like the way they handled this. They picked up, out of their 9 picks, 6 of them were offense. Not bad. You know what your issue is. Granted, your defense was an issue too, but not as bad as your offense.
And with that strong run game, they at least have something to work off of.
Something. But now that Brandon Marshall's gone, that's about all they got. Whatever. Anyways, yeah, in first round they picked up Ryan Tannehill from Texas A&M. A pretty decent quarterback with time, with a lot
More
of
than 19 starts.
Yeah, you know, he's a project, but I think he'll definitely not this year. Maybe next year or the year after, he's going to be a pretty decent quarterback, and I think he might get the job done. Yeah, he might come around. And then they picked up an outside tackle by the name of Jonathan Martin. I like this kid. This kid was a friggin' monster for Stafford. Anybody? How many times did Luck get sacked?
Oh, I don't know.
Not many. He's one of the reasons. And another guy I liked, Lamar Miller, 4th round pick. He's a running back for Miami last year. This kid's friggin' explosive. Him and Bush. Whew. That's a nice little dual-headed beast. I'm going to have to actually agree with that pick. That's a very good pick. So, you know, it is what it is. They picked up a couple, one wide receiver last round. I tried to find some stats for you, couldn't, so let's just move on. No, sorry, dude. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to give you what I can. They also re-signed Cameron Wake, which
They needed to.
they needed to. You know, he was all right. He was all right. He did pretty decent. Then they also re-signed Ryan Baker. I actually like that kid too. You know, good re-signings. There was a few guys you actually let go that, you know, Brandon Marshall, that you guys really needed. But anyways, that's it for Miami. I mean,
I think the thing that got me the most with the Miami trade is that they traded him away for 2 third-round picks, but it costed them two round picks to get him. So the ends don't justify the means. But moving on, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Patriots now. Just before we get started, Welker did sign his franchise tender for $9.5 million. Great. I still think he deserved a contract, and this is why. Welker and Gronkowski combined yardage was 28.96, and they combined for 26 touchdowns. Now, Brady threw for 5,235 yards and 39 touchdowns. So those two players alone combined for more than half of the yards and touchdowns this last season. If that doesn't deserve a deal, I don't know what does.
And with that being said, here in a little bit, I'm going to let you know why they couldn't afford to pay him anymore. So go ahead.
Save that thought. We will come back to that. Now, to go back to their offensive ranks, they were third in points, 32.1 per game. Second in yards at 428 even. They were second in the pass at 317 and 20th in the run with 110.2. So you build on that a little bit. You have an all-around solid offense.
Yeah, they don't run, I mean.
Right. Defensive ranks. They were 15th in points allowed with 21.4. 31st against the pass. Not good. They allowed 293.9 yards on average in a game. They also allowed a total of 411.1 yards per game, which is 31st ranked also. They were middle of the pack almost with the run. They were 17th against the run, allowing 117.1 per game, but you add that in with the passing yards you're allowing, and you're
Garbage.
I'm surprised that you went 13-3.
Well, you got to outscore Brady with average 32 points a game or something?
Yeah, definitely.
You got to catch him first.
Now, in this draft, I think that they did a great job on boosting their needs. They had 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, a third and a 6th-round pick, and then 2 7th-round picks. And all went to boosting that defense, except for their very last 7th-round pick in their draft. It was a wide receiver. Do you feel that with their draft, they did what needed to be done to improve on that defense?
Personnel-wise, maybe not. But I do want to say this. I commended them wholeheartedly, and I still do. You know what your problem is? Your defense. 6 out of 7 drafts go to your defense. You're trying to address it. Nobody can freaking take a pick in the 6th or 7th round better than the Patriots and make them into a number 1. So, this could go either way. No matter what anybody thinks of their picks, that's the team to make them into something special, if it's possible. So, let's go with let's just discuss their picks. Their needs were defensive lineman, linebacker, cornerback, safety. All needs met. That's how you do it. Let's see. They picked up a Hightower, linebacker. Guy's out of Alabama. Monster. Dude's like 6'2", 265. And he's actually pretty dang quick. This guy's gonna be he's gonna be useful, especially in that. I know they have an overabundance of linebackers on that team. Belichick can figure out what to do with them just right. You know what I'm saying?
And if not, there's always special teams.
Yeah, there was a couple other guys that they picked up, like the free safety, Tavon Wilson, free safety out of Illinois. His grade was freaking garbage. He graded out at a 48.2. Yes, he filled a need.
But how well did
Right.
he really feel the need?
That's what I'm saying. You got somebody for the position, but what's he gonna do? Get dusted. Is what it is. They even picked up one of their 6th-round picks. He's a defensive back. He sucked so bad he didn't even have a grade. Anyways, that's good job on picking. What the hell were you picking though?
I guess we'll have to see.
But like I said, if anybody can turn him into something, that's the
water
team.
to wine right there.
Right. All right, so let's get down to some stats because I kind of jumped over that. But touchdowns, let's break them down. Rushing 18, passing 39, returns, punt kick returns 1, and defensive 3. They sacked. They got 40 sacks last year while only giving up 32. Not bad. Better to have more than not.
Right.
And their turnover ratio, ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking about it all season so far. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to turnover ratio. A plus 17. That's how you do it. Teams, not negative, positive. That's how you win champions. That's how you win divisions. That's how you make it to the Super Bowl. So anyways, they re-signed Wes Welker and Dan Copen. Dan Copen I really like. Wes Welker I really like. Should have given him a better deal. Anyways, moving on. Signed. Let's get down to those wide receivers we were talking about. The one in the draft, throw it away. You'll never see. He'll practice squad. That's all I'm saying. Because the ones they picked up in the free agency, whoa. To go along with Wes Welker and those 2 beasts of a tight end, they picked up Dante Stallworth, Jabbar Gaffney, and Brandon Lloyd. That's monstrous right there. They did pick up another running back, Joseph Adai from the Colts, because he knows how to do that system.
I still think even with Adai there, though, they're going to let Ridley and Vereen fight for that #1 job. They had high hopes on both of them, and Vereen getting hurt last year kind of hurt that. But well, I think one of those 2 will end up being the starter at the end of the preseason.
I personally think it's going to be Joseph Adai and Ridley taking snaps from the backfield. You know, I think they're going to be sharing a lot. Because Joseph Adai, he's been with Peyton Manning, and he's been doing Peyton Manning, which is the same thing as Brady for God knows how long. So he's already used to that sort of setup. He knows how to do that setup. Ridley's only been doing it, what, a couple of years?
2nd year, rookie last year.
There you go. And, yeah, and the Patriots lost. Nobody worth mentioning.
All right.
So that's how that breaks down, ladies and gentlemen.
And I did already hear that Ocho Cinco is struggling still with the offense. And I think with the depth they have at wide receiver, that might make him the odd man out, because remember they still do have Deion Branch, and then another receiver you didn't mention was the Anthony Gonzalez, although he's been injury prone, so who knows what he'll be able to do. But that's basically all that we have for you so far in the first half of the AFC East. So tune in next week where we'll go over the Bills and the Jets.
Ooh.
And hopefully that'll be a decent episode there too. And until
I'm
then,
excited.
subscribe, share, and show that you care.